What's up, noobs? I've been analyzing YouTube shorts and TikToks to see what goes viral, and what I found was mildly infuriating. There's definitely a formula. They bait you into thinking you can get rich quick using real estate strategies that very few people are actually capable of pulling off. Like this guy.
How to make $10,000 a month at 18 years old. Buying junk houses like this, where the grass is tall, moss on the roof, junk cars in the driveway, this is where you can make money at. Do the research on the property, find out who the owner is, find out their contact, and then call them and say this. Any thoughts on when you might consider selling that property?
Okay, hold up. Sure, a lot of neighborhoods have that rundown house that you keep driving by and it's so ready for a teardown. Sure, you can find out the owner and phone number with a little bit of digging. But if the owner had a penny for every time a broker or wholesaler wanted to buy their house, they could afford to build a mansion on this property and wouldn't have to screen your phone calls every 10 minutes of their life. How do I know this? Because I've cold called owners myself.
The owner said yes.
Why the would they say yes to an 18-year-old who's clearly never done this before?
Then make them an offer and put it under contract. Then find an investor and then sell the contract to the investor for a fee of $10,000. Once the investor closes, then he can give you a check for $10,000 after closing. This is called wholesaling. Do this once a month, you guys, and you can make over $100,000 a year.
So he thinks an 18-year-old should skip school and pull this off once a month because there aren't hundreds of other wholesalers, brokers, and experienced real estate investors circling the neighborhood eyeing the same properties? And he thinks any given neighborhood has enough rundown houses for this 18-year-old to successfully flip 12 a year? Let's say this 18-year-old has a 1% success rate from cold calling, which means they target 1,200 rundown houses to do 12 deals. If that's the case, I really worry about the condition the neighborhood is in. And you know what? I don't blame the kid for trying to gentrify it and lift himself out of poverty. I have seen some of his other videos, and he actually has 2 young sons who he's teaching wholesaling to. So he certainly can make the case that an 18-year-old can do it. But he also has to have a new step one. Have a millionaire dad that's super experienced in wholesaling teach you starting from when you're in diapers. Also, he fails to mention that wholesaling is one of the scummiest professions in real estate. Real estate brokers are annoying, but they have to abide by a code of ethics, and you need to take a 4-hour ethics refresher every 2 years. Wholesalers aren't bound to anything. They will lie through their teeth to get a seller into contract and then turn around to their buyers 30 minutes later and lie to them too. But explaining any of that wouldn't make for viral content, would it? And before you defend the integrity of wholesaling, let's examine this next video where this kid who's a little bit over 18 teaches us how to lowball homeowners.
Watch me lowball a seller.
Hey Tracy, this is Hayden. How are you?
Okay, first, I'm not judging his hair or bad lighting. I'm judging the direction of his moral compass.
I'm good. How are you? I'm doing awesome this morning. Did I catch you at a good time? Yeah. Okay, great. How was your appointment this morning?
It was good.
Well, that's always good.
And on Monday or Tuesday, he didn't answer till this morning, so I was
Oh.
letting it though.
No, I totally understand. I personally have braces. I just got them a couple, I would say probably like 6 or 7 months ago, and the amount of times my orthodontist has rescheduled on me is kind of mind-blowing, so I totally get it with that.
Okay, sure, building rapport does ingratiate you with the seller, but if some kid was telling me about how he just got braces and proceeded to try to scam me out of my house, I would have hung up right there. Let's keep going.
I do want to just be straightforward with you about the 30,000 you're looking for. We looked at the comps and all the fixed-up properties and all the similar properties to yours in the area, and to be completely honest with you,
He's not being honest.
I'm not going to be able to get you anywhere near the 30,000 you're looking for, but I will say this. Our offer is net to you, so it's literally what you're walking away with, and we can close in 14 to 30 days, like
Not guaranteed.
I said last night. And it's all cash. You wouldn't have to cover
Not his cash.
any fees. You literally wouldn't even have to leave your house, especially since there's a lockbox on the property. So, I mean, this would be the easiest transaction possible. With all that being said, I mean, we were looking at it, and the properties that are fully fixed up, that are in the same square footage range as yours, and they have the same amount of beds and baths as yours. I mean, they're selling for a little bit less than 30,000, and they're fully fixed up. So I mean, trust me, I would love to get you that 30,000.
No, he wouldn't.
But based off that, we had to look at some of the other properties that were in similar condition to yours that are selling and around it in the general area. With that being said, I mean, we'd probably have to be in the $2,500 range to $4,500.
$2,500? So basically, he's suggesting that you just keep repeating fluff so that they don't hang up before you tell them that their house is only worth $2,500. The reason real estate brokers can't do this to you is because they have a fiduciary duty to the seller, buyer, or in some cases, both. A wholesaler giving two prices to two parties violates all sorts of ethical guidelines. Also, this is why most transactions involve an appraiser, but you shouldn't need one to call this kid out on his offer. She was way too nice to hang up on him, and unfortunately she might get scammed because of it. Anyway, the rest of this video is too cringy to keep watching. But this next video at least sheds some light on some of the realities of wholesaling.
Here are 3 red flags to look out for if you're looking to start wholesaling real estate in a hot market. Number 1, in a hot market, it's way harder to find sellers that are willing to do business with you because why should they give you the spread when they know they can keep it to themselves? Number 2, there's way too much competition. Thanks to TikTok, everybody wants to get into
Exactly.
wholesaling because it requires no money and no license. Number 3, bigger deposits. In a hot market, sellers always require bigger deposits. So if you got into this business because it requires no money, how are you supposed to pay for the deposit?
Yeah, sometimes you are gonna have to pay a deposit, and sometimes you're even gonna lose it. TikTokers are more in it for the views rather than to actually educate you. Let's watch some more cringe. Ugh, this guy again.
Alright, let's say your mortgage is $3,000 every month. You make a payment like that every single month for 12 months. Now, you want to speed up this mortgage 7 to 10 years faster?
Let me guess. You make a higher payment every month.
What you do is take the $3,000, divide by 12, which is $250 a month.
Go
Write a
on.
separate check, it's $250 and put principal only, and send it in with your $3,000
Uh-huh.
every single month. By doing that, it will take 17 off the life of your loan.
I really don't know why variations of this concept go viral. Here's my version of this advice. You want to pay less interest and pay down your loan faster? Don't take out a 30-year mortgage and pay it in 25 years. Take out a 25-year mortgage and pay it in 25 years. You might surprise yourself that you've paid less interest than a 30-year mortgage. Hashtag personal finance hack. You heard it here first. My main gripe about this hack is that debt is your friend in real estate. It's the cheapest source of capital in the cap stack. You want to take time paying down that debt because equity earns more than your 3% interest rate. Save up, put the cash in a diverse basket of stocks, ETFs, and even crypto. And then when you've got enough for another down payment, buy another property and take out more cheap debt. As long as your investments earn more than your interest, you don't want to pay down that debt any faster than you have to. Okay, last video. Hold it right there. So basically he's saying find an inexperienced landlord and make sure they don't have a no subletting or Airbnb clause in the lease. Proceed to take advantage of their ignorance and rent it out on Airbnb for a spread. If you have nightmare tenants, well, it's not your property. Look, it's not like this strategy doesn't work and doesn't make people money, but just be careful out there. I'm not trying to be overly negative in this video, and some of these strategies do legitimately make people rich. If there's any kind of theme or conclusion to this video, it's this. Real estate investing isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. It's usually a build wealth slowly scheme, and it works well if you're patient. It's not easy for first-time buyers. Some people will have an easier time than others purely because they're in the right place at the right time. Just realize that it's not for everyone, and it's harder than it looks, so do your research, be prepared for a lot of challenges, and of course, stay curious, noobs.